Welcome back everyone to the penultimate episode of my journey in Terraria Calamity's Master Revengeance mode. In this episode you'll see me take on days 151 through day 201 as I dive deep into the unknown post-game that the Calamity mod has to offer. It is here that I will face countless new bosses, try different playstyles, build more of my world, and so much more. I hope you have all enjoyed the episodes of the past and will enjoy this one too. This has been my longest running series ever on the channel and has taken nearly 8 months of playtime and edit time to accomplish this feat. I would really appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribe for the future content I will provide here, and hey, you won't want to miss out on the very last episode that is so soon to come. Without further ado, let's tackle on the monster of an endgame that this Calamity mod has to offer. Returning from episode 3 on day 151, we are still in the makeover stage where I wanted to make my base look just a little bit nicer or more diverse. I can't say that the base actually does look nicer, but it is certainly a change. Hence, I spent days 151 through 153 doing various changes to my base, including furniture, lighting, building new random NPC homes, and I'm not very proud of it, but you know, it's something, right? With a good amount of the building out of the way, it was time for me to actually embark on the endgame that this mod has to offer. A new chapter is upon us, as it was now time for me to face the challenges that come after defeating the Moonlord. The next slew of bosses would all be new to me, with all of their challenges and difficulties to say the least. At this point in the game, everything was new to me and I did not know how to progress or which bosses were meant to be fought first. Before I could go do any of that, there were some resources around the world for me to collect. Firstly, on day 154, I got Unholy Essence in the Underworld and mined the Exodium clusters in the sky for Exodium clusters and Luminite ore. On day 155, I farmed Polterplasm in the dungeon and in doing so accidentally spawned in one of the new endgame bosses. Oh god, what is this? Sulfur gas has awakened. Oh god. $1 million HP. Alright. I got down 10%, if you know arena. Nothing else. So I now know that there was a boss to be fought in the dungeon, which was good, but I wasn't sure that I was ready for it. After all, I was only in the dungeon for resources, which I did get. Using Illuminite, Exodium clusters, Polterplasm, and more, I was able to have access to many new crafting recipes and items which would go on to help me in this journey. It was on day 156 that the real fights would commence, because on this day, I fought the Dragonslayer boss in the underground jungle. Some chokes there at the end. That didn't go so well on day 157, so I fought the Profane Guardians to get an idea of what that boss might be like. Holy shit. I don't even know which one's the boss. Guardian healer. Wow. Okay. This day wasn't so great as I died to both the Profane Guardians and Dragonslayer. I ended the night how I would go on to end many a nights in this episode, by farming for blood orbs. This way I could use them to make powerful potions that I would need in these boss fights. Come day 158, and the Calamity Master Revengeance confidence was soaring in my veins as I trekked my way to the underground jungle for a close fight with the notorious Dragonslayer boss. Oh my god, I love getting into the game. baby! With that relatively close victory, I was feeling good. That was one endgame boss down and many more still to go, but it was nice to know that I could kill it in only a handful of tries. This victory netted me the red lightning container consumable, which permanently increased the duration of rage mode by 1 second. A handy tool to have, no doubt. On day 159, I was wondering if there would be a boss in the abyss for me to fight, so that's where I went to explore. It was there that I began mining out a large area in the depths for me to be able to fight the high HP enemies that were down there, such as the Colossal Squid and Eidolon Worms. During the mining process, I wasn't exactly left alone though. Whoa. That thing really did, like, fully suck me up. It was on day 160 that I killed the Eidolon Worm in the depths of the acidic ocean and got nothing good for it. That surprised me and made my work feel a little bit lackluster, to say the least. Worm dead. That can't be it, right? Didn't drop anything special. I got a little bit salted by that, so I mined a hole in the bottom of the abyss to drain out the acidic ocean into the underworld, thinking that this would allow me to explore the abyss more easily without water enemies getting in my way. It would turn out later that I was wrong for doing this. The next several days, that being days 161 to day 164, were spent doing the same thing, fighting a boss, dying, and farming for blood orbs. I died to the Profane Guardians and Poltergeist boss in the dungeon a number of times. My strategies, arenas, and overall character setup were not working, and so I was making little progress towards winning these fights. During this low period, I knew something had to change, so on day 165, I made it happen. I did what many sports teams would tell you not to do. I had gone rogue. With my previous attempts at bossing not working out for me, and also having noticed many of the endgame items and armors offering lots of potential to the rogue class, I figured that now was the time to try it. I had yet to try the class properly or use any weapons that did rogue damage at all during my time on this journey, so I was a little in the dark as to how to properly go about it, but I was going to try nonetheless. I crafted a full set of Empyrean armor and lunar kunai weapons to be my loadout for this class. Of course, I had to change all of my accessories too, and a big one that helped me was an accessory that gave extra movement speed with my wings and longer flight times. It was on day 167 that I went on to fight the Profane Guardians with my new rogue class setup for the very first time, hoping that this change would turn the tides on the fights happening now and those to come in the future. Yes! Oh yeah, baby. Profane Guardians down. Came close at the end. But it looks like going rogue is the path to victory. And how beautiful was that? With that one class change, I was able to topple the Profaned Guardians on my first try. That was definitely a sign that I was on the right path by playing as a rogue character. The next boss on my hit list was that of the Poltergeist that I had mistakenly found in the dungeon just days ago. I spent days 168 through 173 trying again and again and again to kill this boss. Just about every time I was unsuccessful. I even made the arena larger and still, no cigar. However, with every attempt I was learning how I might be able to beat this boss on the next try. And after 10 attempts and defeats, it was finally time on attempt lucky number 11 to eradicate this ghost from existence. Fucking suck, boy. With that win, I was feeling very good. That took many tries and a lot of heartache, but in the end it worked out as I knew it would. By slaying this beast of a boss, the abyssal spirits had become disturbed and the souls released stirred the acidic storms. The Poltergeist defeat gave me much treasure to relish in. I obtained ruinous souls from more advanced crafting recipes, I obtained the ethereal subjugator summoning weapon, which I would go into use for a while, and I also got the affliction accessory, which gave a vast amount of benefits to my stats such as damage, life, and defense. And the best part is that the treasure didn't even stop there. I also consumed the permanent upgrade known as the Ecto Heart, which increased my adrenaline mode damage by 20% and damage reduction by 5%. I then crafted the Ascendant Insignia for better mobility with my wings. And finally I crafted another permanent upgrade called the Phantom Heart, which increased my mana by 50. With so many upgrades, I was ready to take on whatever came next. On day 174, I noticed that the hole in the bottom of the abyss really was draining the acidic ocean out by a lot. I then fought the Acidic Rain event, where I found new enemies and mini-bosses, which were definitely beefy, and this event took a while, but I was able to reach the end. It was at the end where I had died at the very last second, but noticed that a boss called the Old Duke had spawned in right as the event was at its end. My new goal was to fight and kill this boss. So, on day 176, I killed the acidic enemies once again and got my shot at killing the Old Duke.
The Old Duke, 1.2 million. See if I can do it. God knows that much health. I dropped 6 platinum.
Well, that fight didn't go well, and seeing as it took just a really long time to even get to the boss, I decided to wait until a later time to fight the old Duke because I had other boss spawners already available to me and I wanted to focus on them for the time being. Thus, on day 177, I turned my eyes to Providence, the profaned goddess, in the Hollow as my next victim. Unfortunately for me, I died to this goddess multiple times on days 177 through 179.
Dude, I fucked it up.
Since I was using a lot of blood orbs for potions in these boss fights, I needed a more efficient way to get blood orbs. So it was on the night of day 179 that I made a new spot in the sky, utilizing conveyor belts to farm blood orbs. This sky setup made enemies and loot come to me, and with added items for increasing enemy spawn rates, I was getting 2 to 3 times more blood orbs every single night. With a huge stockpile of blood orbs, I once again took to the skies and fought the profaned goddess once more. With a little confidence from my new farm and the knowledge gained from my failures, I was victorious over this goddess and stamped my name in the heavens as her defeater. This win netted me a new set of wings blessed by the profaned flame, which would now be my go-to wing to use. This kill also allowed for me to mine Ulabloom ore in the underground jungle, a new ore that would open up more crafting recipes, weapons, armor, and accessories. On day 181, I killed the goddess once more for more resources, then made many upgrades to my items including a blossom pickaxe, full Tarragon armor, and then tested a variety of the new weapons out. It was on day 182 that I crafted a new rogue spear weapon called Knight's Gaze, which would become my best friend for the fights to come. Then on day 183, I expanded the Underworld boss arena and put it to the test on day 184 as I used the Rune of Cost to activate and spawn in the Dark Messenger boss known as Cygnus, Envoy of the Devourer. With a quick win over Cygnus, I obtained a material known as Twisting Nether, which was used for more late-game crafting recipes, although not many that I could use at the very moment. Brimming with confidence, I flew right on into day 185 and took my shot once again by using the Rune of Cost to spawn in the Stormweaver boss at my general boss arena, and it was turning out to be a very good day of Terraria. Another victory on back-to-back days. It had me feeling like I was on a high. I was in an unstoppable force of power against these new Calamity mod bosses, even on Master Revengeance mode. So then I thought to myself, well, I have one more boss fight left using the Rune of Cost spawner, and that boss was located once again in the dungeon, and was known by the name of Ceaseless Void. However, on day 186, I was bested by the Void a number of times and was left feeling bad. Wanting a short break before fighting more bosses, I spent the next several days doing a little bit of redesign and upkeep on my base. That is, on days 188 through 197, I put forth a large amount of time and effort into expanding my treasure room to be able to hold all of the new loot I was getting, and put considerable time into finishing the Hall of Victory. I knew that it would feel better to kill bosses if I had a proper place to store their relics and trophies after defeating them. So during these days, I extended the overall length of the Hall of Victory, figured out the spacing for each individual dedicated boss room, added a second floor because there were so many bosses that my first level just wasn't enough, then added support beams on the bottom just to make it look a little bit better. It wasn't the perfect build, but it was something, and I really enjoyed the way it turned out as it gave more importance to each of my kills, and it was a way for me to walk down a hall of memories. During the nighttime of this period, I was killing many of the old bosses from long ago, trying to get their trophies to fill the Hall of Victory some more. After so many days of doing this, and nearing the end of the 200-day journey, I wanted to spend the final days fighting the Ceaseless Void in an attempt to add his relic to the collection I'd been growing since the very beginning. Hence, day 198 was spent dying to the Ceaseless Void again and again. Then, on day 199, I unfortunately just died some more. Finally, reaching day 200, I thought this would be the day. The perfect capstone to day 200, where I would end this void and it would no longer cease to exist. Damn it. Well, that didn't turn out how I thought it would. Lucky for you all though, I had miscalculated what day I was on, and while it was truly day 200, I thought it was day 199. So that meant that I had one more day to play, day 201, but to me it was just day 200. So here we are folks, on fake day 200, also known as real day 201, and I was convinced that this day would be the time, the perfect manifestation of my thoughts, where the Ceaseless Void would go once and for all. can I hit it? What the fuck's going on? What the fuck is this? Oh! Okay. A dub's a dub, baby! Day 200! Wow, what a final time. What a final time. And would you look at that? I was victorious. I may have been wrong about the day, but who cares? You got to see that kill just in the nick of time, and that fight was a worthy one for sure. It was one of the hardest I had encountered in this Calamity mod, but after winning, I must pay my respects, as it was a really cool fight to take part in. With that, we have put an end to this 4th episode of my journey in Terraria Calamity's Mastery Vengeance mode. And while I was nearing the end of my journey as a whole, I must admit that this 8-month journey in total has been a blast to play, and I cannot wait for you all to see the season finale, Episode 5, where I put the nail in the coffin on this mod. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all in the finale.